In addition to actual volcanoes, there's lots of other forms of volcanism on our planet. So this video is going to focus on other types of volcanic landforms that we can see and how they form. Some of the other landforms that we can see around volcanism are calderas. And remember, these are just gigantic craters that are bigger than about half a mile in diameter. And we're going to have three different types of craters that will develop in different areas. We can see that some form crater lakes, where as it collapses, over time it's going to fill with water, so a lake will develop in the middle of that crater. Another type of caldera we can see is called a Hawaiian type. And this is where we have shield volcanoes that no longer erupt. Once the magma chambers are empty of magma, the top is going to slowly collapse in. And the third type of caldera produces what's called a supervolcano. And this is what we see with Yellowstone. Yes, Yellowstone National Park is on top of a supervolcano. When Yellowstone erupts in the future, which hopefully it'll be a few 100,000 years down the future, it's going to be absolutely catastrophic. It will destroy the west side of the United States. But these generally have really complex eruption histories. They erupt over really long gaps. So thankfully, we still have a couple 100,000 years before this happens again. But we can see some other volcanic landforms where lava is coming and erupting at the surface very quickly and fluidly. Some of the times we can have a fissure or a break in the surface, which we can see in the top image. If we have lava near this break in the surface, the lava can come out and just create a very small kind of suture of lava. But if we have lava traveling a fair distance, at least several feet away from the fissure or the break in the surface, it can form something called a basalt plateau. And these are just larger flat areas where lava has came out of the fissure and solidified. But then we have an even larger one called a flood basalt. And now, instead of it just being a matter of feet away from the fissure, the lava is going to be able to travel hundreds of miles and cover areas like an entire state in lava that will eventually solidify into a relatively flat area of igneous rock. And then the third type of volcanic landform we'll talk about is called a volcanic neck. It used to be called a volcanic plug as well. But this is where we're looking at the remains of that volcanic conduit, the kind of elevator shaft from the magma chamber deep underneath the ground to the top or the vent to the volcano. We'll see that over millions of years, weathering is going to erode down the sides of the volcano. But the conduit, the very center, is going to resist erosion because it's made out of igneous rocks. So sometimes we can see what looks like a giant just rock jutting out of the surface, especially out west. And this is a volcanic neck. It's just the inside or the innermost layer of an ancient volcano where the rest has been eroded away.